The new Consulate feels like a whole new map, not just a rework. With maze-like rooms and lots of hiding places, it can be an extremely challenging map for attackers. This challenge is going to have to be met by professional and ranked players alike, as it is entering the competitive map pool and it cannot be banned for the entirety of Year 8 Season 2. So if you're forced to play it, why not learn how to play it correctly? We'll walk through how to defend and attack each bomb site with gameplay examples, show you spawn peaks from both perspectives, and discuss in general the strengths and weaknesses of this map. This is the only guide you'll need for Consulate. Let's get started. Starting by looking at the blueprints, we'll look at the top floor. And these diagonal red lines, again, that's wherever on this top floor there can be vertical play. So you're going to notice that there's only a couple areas where it is actually safe from below. And this is going to be an advantage that the attackers are going to want to use. And also it kind of limits what the defenders can do. There's only a couple spots here. We have the hallway, the soda hallway, and we also have the hobo spot and the entire secretary office and top yellow, where it's safe from nades below. So we know those are going to be power positions for the defenders. Now we just need to figure out how can we set up best around this. And looking at the second floor, we can see there's more verticality that's going to be used in case there's a basement site. We can see all of Exposition and Piano is soft. And then on the other side as well, in Tellers and Visa, the entirety of the floor is soft. Some of these red lines are incorrect. Not the entire lobby hallway is allowed to have vertical play. It's about half of it. But for the most part, this blueprint is pretty accurate. You're going to see that you have some safe space in lounge and lobby, and of course in spiral. And then you also have the poker hall, the U-Hall, and the yellow stairs. So that's where you can't get naded from below. But of course, there are going to be ways that attackers can get verticality on you. And lastly, looking at the basement, obviously we can't see the vertical unless we superimpose the map of the ground floor above it. You'll see that most of both sites, whether it's servers or whether it's garage and cafeteria, there's going to be an opportunity for the attackers to take vertical on the defenders. Now, even though the attackers can take vertical because there are a lot of soft floors, the problem is there's a lot of rooms. So when we look at ground floor and top floor side by side, look at how many different rooms that you have to navigate near the site in order to make vertical. So if we're making vertical on the basement site and we go into Piano and Expo, you can see there's connecting rooms to lounge. We have the U-Hall. You've got the small closet. You have vertical above Piano and Expo that you have to worry about. And same thing if you're trying to take vertical on the Piano and Expo site, you have to worry about all the rooms on the top floor like CS or bathroom or top spiral, long desk, the death box. You've got all these rooms upstairs that you have to worry about when you're trying to make vertical. So if you truly want to be successful on Consulate, you can't just walk around and expect to win. You need to use your drone, you need to use intel, and you're going to be much more successful on Consulate. Now let's get into the defenses. Starting out on the top floor, you want to make some head holes on the connector wall and reinforce on the right side closest to the doorway. This gives you sight lines into meeting, and you can see the default walk-in, and then you can make some head holes on the left here, but not the entire wall because it kind of covers the bathroom window. Next, you could potentially place a shield here in secretary facing towards yellow and put some ADSs on the wall to protect it. Also make some head holes here on bathroom and reinforce the wall next to it. This allows you to get an angle on the bathroom window, but also have some safety from yellow. You also have this lamp spot that people can tuck in and play as well. Another common peak for defenders is going to be from this CS room, which is the console side room. And of course, there's a lot of people that put head holes on this wall, but I personally am not a fan of it because you have two windows that look into that area. You have the bathroom window. You also have the connector window as well. So if you have a person playing the shield, they can die from that connector window. So we're going to go ahead and reinforce that baguette wall. Next, we're going to reinforce the death balk wall. You can leave this wall soft to impact out and run out, but I personally prefer to reinforce it, which forces them to use utility. Attackers also have to walk into about 5 angles when they come out of that death box. That's why I call it death box to begin with. And then we're going to move into admin, and we can see that there's a triple wall here that is soft. This is what the sight lines look like if attackers are able to get into admin and those walls are soft. They can cut off all of runway. So we're going to want to go ahead and seal all of these admin walls up, just the 3 that are facing the... Now with that done, we need to move to a rotate, so then we can freely move between coffin and break room. And you can see I've kind of put it in the middle right of the wall, and that's because it protects you from 2 window angles. It protects you from copy, and it also protects you from the coffin window. So you can play an admin to deny drones. You don't necessarily have to overpeak and take a gunfight. Next, we want to reinforce the 2 meeting walls. The reason we want to reinforce those 2 meeting walls is so this whiteboard position can have some cover. They can watch the single door on long desk. They can watch runway. They can swing the default plant, and they can also watch the death box, and they can see sight lines into the CO. This spot here is what I would call ninja. It's a plant spot. You have to be aware that the attack can do an Amaru rush and try to plant there because the window can hold the cross. And another spot that you can put your shield is here by soda. You can get a pixel angle on anyone walking up the stairs, and you can watch 3 entry points just by looking down 1 hallway. You can see top coffin, you can see top visa stairs, and you can see the break room door. The floor is also hard there, so it makes it a power position. The same spot in hobo, it's hard floor. So these are spots that you can't be naded from below. You can see the entire site itself does have soft floors, however, so if you are playing within the site, it is possible to get naded from below. All right, so looking at this first example, this is going to be a Wamai hold. You can see a minute's already been wasted. We can hear people on rappel. I've shot 1 drone, shot another clutch drone, and basically we're just wasting time, forcing the attackers to use utility. Now we hear the swing in, so I get ready to pre-fire. And it was 2 that swung in. It was a Brava and an Ash. And the Solus is able to collapse and get the second one in admin. There's still one on the copy rappel, so I don't necessarily need to peek it, but it is a 4v2. So both me and the Solus peek them at the same time, and we get the kill. The ace is going off, so we know that it's going to be in death box, and we're able to convert that last kill. So up next, we've got an example of playing shield on soda. You can see almost 2 minutes gone. Lion scan.
On piece of stairs.
They've got to push this hallway. Buck is absolutely clueless, doesn't even look my way. And then I just have to wait behind a shield for another one. You can see the flash come from the stairs, and then we get to convert the kill on the stairs. And now we have a 4v1 with 30 seconds left.
House was like in flames.
We are protected.
Outside north.
You having fun there, bird? This last example is going to be just showing how knowing the map and having game sense will add to your play.
One's gonna go secret tunnel. They're gonna be coming out of Tellers.
Wait. How do you know he's going to be coming up Teller's stairs? Let's take a listen. Now that sound was much louder than the first time, but I'm able to know that he's going into servers and he's going to come up that Teller's stairs that leads to server.
0.
See, I know the map. Look at that. All right, now moving into a basement defense, we can see the sites are in garage and cafeteria. We're going to start with a rotate kind of near the fridge and tent area and some head holes on the cafeteria wall. I personally like to make a rotate here on the pipes wall just so defenders can move in and out quickly of that hallway. Obviously, the downside of that is that the attackers do have a long angle from lockers. Make a rotate into security for both short and for cafeteria, and you'll want to reinforce this single wall on storage. That way it prevents them from just bucking straight through and walking into the site. You can make some feet holes on server just as a distraction, and you'll also want to head to secret and reinforce this wall. The reason why we're reinforcing secret is just to waste some utility, force the attackers to use some hard breach, and then we can make some feet holes in electrical. The reason why we want those feet holes is if you do have someone playing server. This is called Chibi right here, this spot, and you can see their feet as they walk down the stairs. Next, we'll have to run upstairs and grab some hatches. First hatch is going to be this Teller's Hall hatch. If this hatch gets opened, then the attackers can get a long angle on the security hallway. You don't necessarily have to reinforce that corner hatch, but you can reinforce the double door hatch in Visa. This way they can't just rush straight down into construction hallway. And the last hatch that you'll want to get is the Exposition hatch or Expo hatch. That way the attackers can't just take vertical very quickly and drop into the site. I like to open this piano hatch as well, even if I'm not playing upstairs, just to waste the attacker's time. Now, whichever side you want to reinforce on pipes, you only need one reinforcement there. You don't necessarily need to rotate either. You could just do head holes. I like to reinforce this side and put a bulletproof that can watch the hallway. Also, if you have a mirror, this is a good wall to reinforce because you can watch the breach and you can watch yellow door as well. This is another good mirror spot here in the corner of cafeteria because you can have it facing towards the back site and you can put head holes next to it so then they can watch the construction hallway. Those head holes are dangerous if you don't have a mirror though, because they can get a long angle all the way from the red hall onto the site. And the last two walls we want to reinforce are the garage walls. You can make some shotgun holes on the top of the breach because this can allow you to C4 either to the left or the right, and you can also use impacts to trick the right side of the breach through the drone hole, or you can just throw impacts at the top and that should destroy any thermite charge or ace charge that is above mid height on the wall. You could have someone playing pipes here, which is a power position. You can have someone playing on these head holes behind pillar. They can watch the breach and yellow door. You can have someone playing security because they can rat in danger spot here. They can watch people walking up from construction, and obviously they can swing on anyone who is bottom spiral or by lockers. If you decide that you don't want to extend all the way to server, you can use the Visa hatch and the secret wall in order to reinforce these two locker walls. All right, so I'm going to show you an example of how Fenrir can help you hold this basement. Obviously, if there's a fuse above, you can shoot the cluster charge. Don't have to wait for it to go off. One of the FNATs goes off, so you wait a second and then you swing.
Dead.
One near yellow. See the head holes useful for yellow. We know the fuse is upstairs.
Last one above.
Cluster charges are going off upstairs, but you can see I've got all these rotates that I made in the prep phase that allows me to move through the site easily.
By the red car.
And then you just wait patiently for your FNAT to go off and you get the last kill.
Nice.
Let's go now for a Solus roam. I like roaming with Solus because she can see all the intel. Luckily, that Amaru decided to repel in right where I was at, so unlucky for her. Well, Amaru's dead.
Nice.
And then I open the piano hatch because it prevents them from taking vertical. Obviously, they're not pushing this way. I can see if they have any drones, if anyone's on a phone, and I can just drop down.
Flying down.
Sensor on. Let's see what I can find.
And then later in the round, with 40 seconds left, we have Diffuser. It is a 3v2. One of them dies, ends up being a 3v1. And he's just buying time outside, and I get the kill. All right, for the third site, we're going to go to Exposition and Piano. We'll start out by making a rotate between the sites. That's just kind of common knowledge at this point. You don't want to put a reinforcement between the sites. And we'll reinforce the two lobby walls. Then we'll move into the poker walls, which are on the north side of Exposition. Don't necessarily need to reinforce those two expo walls, but you should reinforce the teller's walls. Reason we want to reinforce those teller walls is because if they have someone with a 2x scope or higher, they can get a long angle all the way through the site and cut off any rotations. So it's best just to reinforce these two walls. I would put some feet holes on closet, that way you can contest a jump in. And of course we need to reinforce the piano single wall so we don't get shot through the yellow window. The reason we call this poker is because of these poker chips that are randomly sitting in the hallway, and that's the only poker chips that I've seen on this map. Next, we can head upstairs and grab the hatch. And after grabbing the hatch, you should have two reinforcements left that you can use wherever you want. You can kind of hold upstairs as well. So you can play that same connector spot with the same head holes from the previous site. And if you want, you can reinforce the exterior death balk wall. That way it just forces attackers to use utility. And then of course you can make vert on the site so you can see the default plants. So you can see these long angles that you're able to get into the site, and you can deny plants if they're deep into Exposition. You can also see the plants on the lobby side if they do open up the lobby breach. Another shotgun angle you want to know is here behind the CO desk. You can see the closet window jump in from above. It also open here next to the plant in CO, and you can watch the piano single door. And obviously, if you are playing upstairs, I wouldn't recommend doing it alone because there are a lot of potential pushes. You have from meeting, you have from top spiral, you have from yellow, you have from bathroom. So with all those potential pushes, obviously you're trying to buy time and make sure that you can maintain the vertical and stop a plant on the site. Here you can also make vertical into piano because there is a strip of hard floor there in piano that they can plant without being C4'd from below. Now it is also possible to play in the basement. If you have a pulse or a solus, you can open this hatch and you can actually see the walk-in to Expo. You can use a solus to figure out where they're planting, and then if you find their spot, you can throw an impact and then shoot them from below. The only spot that you're not going to be able to shoot them from below is the far west side of piano because there is that strip of hard floor. So here I'm showing you where you can impact or shotgun in the corners of the exposition site. But again, when you're on this side, you're not going to be able to see the planter if they're fully on the hard floor. You can also open this door and watch the closet walk in. All right, so here we've got a zombie hold for piano and exposition. You can see you can set your kibas on this piano and you can basically build your own fort. You're able to get some angles onto lounge, get some kills there. And as your kibas regenerate, you can add onto it and make it more of a pixel angle. So I can see their hips, but they would have to be crouched in order to see me. So I get some shots in on them. I'm getting droned out. Put another kiba there so it creates kind of a small pixel and a little area of cover for me being crouched. And I'm able to get the Yana there.
Going benches.
Get the benches called, so I wait. And I close it out. Ooh, let's go, baby. All right, and lastly, we get to tellers and server. We're going to start out by reinforcing the 3 tellers walls. These 3 walls are obviously important because it prevents a lobby push directly into the site. Next, we'll want to reinforce the visa hatches. You can open the visa hatch on the top floor. We also want to reinforce a secret, of course, and the second visa hatch. If you want to play a shield spot on a relatively safe spot, you can come into the lobby hall. There is some vertical above you in coffin, but most attackers aren't going to be trying to get vert on you. You can swing the visa window. You can also contest lobby, and if there is an ace charge thrown on the wall, you can shoot the ace off. You can make some vertical on the teller's window and also on the teller's door. That way whoever is playing below can watch those walk-ins. You'll want to make a rotate between server and construction, and you can place a shield in this back hallway. That way you can stop a push from planks. I would also put ADSs near the bottom of the stairs because that is going to protect that shield from being destroyed, and you have protection from the hatch above. And then you can make this vertical on coconut just so you can watch the visa window from below. And of course, you're going to want to reinforce the secret entrance. Again, you can use those feed holes on Chibi to watch the electrical feed holes. Want to make a rotate into storage and then reinforce the single storage wall. That way they can't just push straight through storage into the site. You can see the vertical on the teller's door. And you don't necessarily need to reinforce the teller's hatch because it doesn't drop into the site. I think the ideal way to hold this site is obviously with a bunch of people below. You can also hold the top floor. You can make some feed holes under the double door if you want as well. Now, you remember opening the admin hatch. It is possible to use these last 3 reinforcements on the admin walls. That way you can hold upstairs and you can prevent any walk-ins to Visa. The point of holding upstairs would be to waste time. The attackers will have to drone you out. You might be able to shoot their drones and they'll try to work the top floor to clear you out. If you are alone up there, obviously you're going to have to just bide your time and make sure that you can live as long as possible because the rest of your teammates are probably going to be playing C4s beneath. And if you want to slow the attackers down even more, you can use barricades to board up these doors on the other side of the map. That way you can at least get a sound cue if the attackers are pushing you from the other side of the map. Unfortunately, I don't have any game examples of this site, but let's move into the attack. And before we do that, we need to first look at all the spawn peaks. All right, so you do have 4 spawn points. You have Riot, Police Line, Gas Station, and Parking. Starting in the Riot spawn, you'll want to make sure that you shoot this default that's on the right. You can't necessarily see the police line camp, so you don't have to worry about it. If you go to the right out of this spawn, you need to worry about 2 windows. You've got the 2 admin windows, A1 and A2, that you have to watch when you're coming out of this spawn. If you continue to swing, then you have to worry about the Visa door. And if you decide to go left out of this spawn, there are higher walls, so you don't necessarily have to worry about anything right away until you get to the yellow car. Then you do have the Visa door that you have to worry about. You also have the balcony that they can run out of. And of course, you've got the admin and the coffin windows. There you can see the default on police line if your teammates don't shoot it. You can see this barricade is high enough so you can't get shot from the windows, but when you're walking out of spawn, you have to watch out for front door. If you decide to go through this gate, you do have to be careful of the coffin window and of course the connector window as well, and potentially admin. And you have the front door if you continue to walk that way. Now in the police spawn, you're going to see this truck in the front there, and there is the default cam on the left. So that's the first thing you want to do. And the first thing you want to check is that porta potty. There is a window, the closet window on the other side, and people commonly run out of that. Then you have to check this window on your right, connector window. If you go off to the right, then of course you're going to have to worry about this front door peek. If you decide to take the long way out to the left, you have to watch that second floor window. And of course there is the stack window as well. Now, walking out of the gas station spawn, if you go to the left here, you have to worry about a potential run out from under scaffolding, but it's more common that it's going to be running out of yellow door. So you can see there are two staircases there next to yellow door that the enemy can run up. You do have a default cam that's out to the left, so you can shoot that if nobody spawns parking. You can see the under scaffolding window and the bathroom window that you're prone to. You do have secret visa window and copy window as well if you keep moving to the left, and then the yellow windows and the yellow wall. Now, if you decide to go right out of gas station spawn, you can shoot the cam through that tree there. You have to worry about that run out on the yellow stairs. And then you have to worry about the second floor window as well. And the last spawn is the parking spawn. So when you spawn in, just look to the right, shoot the default. You can look to the left, shoot the default. Take out the cam so the enemies don't have information on you. When you're coming out to the right here, you're protected by that awning, but you need to swing out ready for a peek from the copy window and the visa window. They can also peek from the yellow windows, the yellow wall, under scaffolding as well. They could potentially run out. So you have to be aware of these if you go out to the right on parking. The further you swing, obviously, the more exposed you're going to be. Now, if you go out to the left, you just have to worry about A1 and A2, the two admin windows, and of course, the visa door as well, if somebody has that open. Let's see from the defender's perspective as well. This is the CO window. You can see looking towards gas station and then police line. Here's the run out on the balcony towards police line, and then the run out towards riot. Of course, you have the coffin window that you can look towards main gate as well. Then the admin window, A3. Can't really get a good angle on riot, but you can if they run towards the front of the building. Then you have the admin window spawn peaks, A1 and A2, looking towards parking and looking towards riot. Then you have the copy window looking out towards parking. The bathroom window looking out towards gas station. Here's the porta potty run out from closet window. You can see both exits from police line. Front door peek to the right and to the left. This is the visa window towards parking. The visa double door towards riot. Under scaffolding looking towards gas station first and then off to the right. And this is the stack window. Here's the first floor yellow window. And then yellow window looking out towards parking. You also have the yellow run out where they can open this wall and look towards parking. Or they could run out towards gas station. This is the common yellow door spawn peek. They run out and peek gas station at both spawn points. And then you have the secret tunnel that you can use to impact on someone who's repelling, or you can use it to peek the parking spawn. All right, now that we can get safely out of spawn, let's look at how we can attack the top floor first. So this is the console meeting site on the second floor, and there's going to be 3 takes that I'm going to propose. One is admin over, so you're going to be taking from the east side of the building, taking that control, and then trying to get a plant in the default spot on the meeting door. The second take is going to be a yellow take, which means you're going to be focusing on the yellow windows, on the skylight, on the bathroom window, and spiral. So you're going to be trying to take the northwest part of the building, and your objective would be to plant in the CO office. And the last strat that I'm going to talk about is going to be an Amaru plant that's going to be on Ninja, which is the CO window plant spot. So first, when we're looking at the admin overtake, we need to first establish if they are playing an admin or not. So we need to have some drones ready at the admin windows to make sure that there are no defenders playing an admin. If there are defenders playing in admin, then we know we have to clear them out before we can take control of that part of the map. So in order to take this control, we can have multiple people on rappel on the south admin window and on A1 and A2, and we can have someone repelled on the copy window. We can also have somebody go below and try to nade this person out of the cubby corner or out of the dark corner as well. Now, if there aren't any players in admin and you can drone it out and you safely know that there's nobody in admin, this is when you want to swing in and take control. You'll slowly work your way up through copy, break room, and coffin, and you'll drone out the long soda hallway. If the defenders didn't reinforce the admin walls, then you want to make sure that you breach those with a soft breach like a buck, and you can hold that entire runway hallway. After you have control of that runway hallway, you need to isolate the defender that's going to be on soda. In this way, you can have someone walk up these stairs, you can have someone come in from the coffin door, and someone at break. There is a drone hall and break as well that you could throw flashes in to burn ADSs, so you don't have to expose yourself to the door. Now, once you've taken soda control and cleared that defender out of the soda area, you're going to try to get a plant on the default spot. You can still have this player on the cross holding runway so nobody can get in from long desk, but you should have a player near the default door as well to hold a close swing from inside of meeting. Again, it's not going to be perfect, but in theory, that's how you would want to take that side of the map. All right, so now I'm going to go over some examples. This is going to be the first one. This is what happens if admin is free. We're droning everything out. Copy is free, admin is free, break is free. So we can easily swing in here. Now they've also left this wall soft, so I can just buck it open. And look at that, there's a Fenrir hiding there. Then I get to hold this runway. I'm holding the hallway. Ella dead. Able to get the Ella. I'm just clearing more debris, and then we get the call that the last one is side door, and they finish it. Now, this next example is what happens when you have good teamwork in order to take admin. Drones on the guys that are in admin, able to pick one off.
He's gone left now. Oh, you've just missed him.
I got him.
Nice.
There's another one close left on my window.
There's call that there's another one close. Someone get on printer window. So I asked someone to go printer, drone him out. Able to find the Valk here in the corner, next to Cubby. On the 3 ping right now. So I asked to swing in on 3. Swing in and look right. Ready?
Yeah, ready.
3,
I'm coughing.
2,
I'm going.
1. We swing in together and we get a pinch, and then there's another one coffin and we get a freebie. Then I'm able to move into default because we've cleared soda, and you can see we've got 15 seconds left. I swing, but I ask my teammate to hold the cross. I stick it, and he gets the kill. Then you can take buck and you can make vertical from below and push visa stairs afterwards. Get a call that one's in coffin, so I make vert there.
He's on 5 now.
And then eventually we push up into the site. He's going to the spiral double. Oh, see him and have a little bit of panic, but get the last kill.
Well done, Baguette, mate.
And this is the last example for a top floor attack. This was a solo queue game where I just took Grim, was able to clear one out of admin, droned a second, and was going to be using my bees in order to check to make sure that he wasn't going to be swinging this door. And I'm able to quick peek and get a kill there. I put my bees on spiral so he can't come to double door without me knowing. So he swings runway. And I push up the runway, check bees with CO, and there's a Fenrir just clueless on the stairs, and then the last one is a Solus.
Op 4 eliminated.
Now let's move into a yellow take, and as I mentioned earlier, this is going to be focused on the yellow side of the map. So you have the yellow stairs, you've got the yellow stairs wall, you've got the bathroom window, the spiral window on that northwestern side of the map, and you're going to be trying to take control of that area. So what you'll need to do is obviously have someone on the yellow skylight. This can prevent anyone from the defense moving on the yellow stairs, and it can also stop any sort of trick on the wall. It's actually impossible to trick that exterior yellow wall, so you can get that open for free. You can have someone on the bathroom window, but if you have someone playing that bathroom window, you need to be aware of the spiral window as well. And I think because most of the site itself and CS, they are soft, when you're trying to take that western half of the map, you're going to want to get people into piano downstairs, so they can get a nade on the defenders who are playing in CS and in CO. You'll also need some form of flash or burn for ADSs in case they're playing a shield near the lamp. And you'll need to coordinate after you clear the player in CS to clear that shield that's by the lamp. Now, once you've cleared out all the defenders on the western side of the map, you can actually swing into the CO window and attempt to plant there. Your player on the bathroom window can hold the cross, so the defenders can't actually get into the site because this cross is holding the double door and through the site into CO. Of course, you could have somebody playing on the spiral skylight as well, because that person on the spiral skylight is going to be able to stop anyone from pushing the person on the bathroom window. And once you've got your plant down, whoever planted can rappel out the window and just be upside down rappel and wait for the defenders to try to defuse. Alright, here's a yellow skylight take for the top floor. I can see there's a Banshee with my Gemini.
Ooh, and a Warden.
So I decide that I'm going to nade that, get rid of it, so I don't have to worry about it later in the round. And I just follow up the nade, saying it might cover up the sound. Warden's trying to shoot me. I fake pull a nade, and notice I can see the shadow of the Melusi here. I know that she's pushing up here, so I'm going to prioritize her, and I can pre-fire it.
Okay.
Able to get her. They have a shield there, so I'm going to use my nade to clear it. And then the Warden pushes me from sight.
I got it. I got it. I got it.
Now, the third take is going to be very similar to that yellow take. You're going to have players go in below and try to nade enemies out of hiding spots. And instead, you're going to have a Ying rappel on the window, and you're going to have an Amaru with the diffuser. And the Ying's going to throw in their candelas and smokes into CO. The nade below is going to try to take care of the CO desk, and the Amaru is just going to fly through the window and plant while the Ying is covering. Obviously, this strat doesn't really work too well if there is a Warden, so you have to make sure that you're trying to eliminate that Warden first. But the goal of this strat is to make sure that you get a plant down fast, and you can hold it from the window. Alright, here you have me on the Ying. We've cleared the person by the CO desk. Throwing in my smokes, they get ADS'd, and then we just throw in the candelas after that. So they have to swing in order to kill this person because we have teammates below. So I just keep candelaing and hold the cross, pre-fire a smoke, and then the plant's already down.
Up we go. Up we go.
Get some shots on the Solus. Legion is able to cross.
Legion's there.
And then I end up dying to a pre-fire from the Solus.
Oh no.
Oh no. Went from a 4v3 to a 2v3 very quickly, but
Dead.
one of them was very low. That's them. Another one tries to defuse, and then it gets to a 1v1. But he can be very patient here with the ticks.
Sticking.
And we're able to close out the round.
I've heard 3 pips there. That's got to
Yeah.
be close.
He's got one more tick.
All right, now moving into the basement, we've got 2 attacks that I'm going to propose. One is the secret side, which is going to be from the east side over through secret tunnel. And then the other side is going to be taking the garage breach plus the vertical. The second option is going to require a lot more teamwork, and you have to secure piano plus a lot of other rooms in order to take and maintain the vertical on the site. Starting with the secret side take, this is something that you can actually do as a solo player, and I've done previously as a solo player. If you take Buck, for example, he's got both hard and soft breach, so you can actually get yourself into the secret tunnel and then down the stairs and into server. And a lot of times there are teams that don't reinforce storage, so I buck into storage and the storage single wall, and then I have a straight shot into cafe. Now obviously you have to check a lot of different corners. You've got the red hall or con hall that you have to check. You have the snake spots, you have the middle of server, which I call chibis, and then you have the coconut spot, which is the cubby on the right side of server. If you're able to drone that out and take that space, make sure that you take it as quick as possible, because now the defenders don't have control of that part of the map. So you can start to pressure on the locker side from coffee door, or you can open up the storage wall with either a hard breach or a soft breach, depending on if it's reinforced or not, and you can start to pressure cafe. Because a lot of defenders focus on the garage side of the building with that yellow hall and the garage breach, then you basically have a free shot at the back. So a lot of times this can work in your solo queue games. Here's an example of a solo push on the back side. There was one making a rotate by this. Started out by pushing in Visa and was able to kill 2 roamers who knew that I entered Visa.
No one bottom secrets this.
Yeah.
No one in
Teammate is droning and telling me server is clear. Yeah, it was. Make it rotate into storage. I can see that the single storage wall is reinforced, so I'm just going to push past the hallway. Make sure I get the default, check the hall. Nobody's here. Just keep pushing. Check the site. Clear every angle. I hear the Mira. Hear the Valk. Get a shot on the Mira. Hear the Cade rotating. And then now she's got to push into this office, and I'm able to cut her off. Now, if you want to take the garage breach and vertical, this is going to take a lot more work. You need to put 2 players at least upstairs to make sure that you can maintain the vertical. Probably a nomad as well, so you can air jab off the lobby doors and the piano door. Then you need some form of hard breach in order to open up the hatch, and some sort of soft breach to open up the floors to get vertical on the site. You can pretty much open vertical on the entire site except for the very deep part of cafe near the vegetables and the microwave. Once you get top floor control, you can also open up above the breach and get any Cade Claw or Bandit off the wall, and you can have a hard breacher, whether it's a thermite or an ace, open up the garage breach and try to get a plant. When you're playing vertical, obviously you need to check behind the red car, check the rotate between the sites, check on pillar, check on pipes, and then you'll be able to make sure that the site is clear before your hard breach pushes in and attempts to plant. The safest spot to plant is in front of the pillar near the bomb chassis. And here we've got an example of taking vertical with a teammate. Nomad goes up, puts their air jabs, and I'm able to open up the hatch very quickly. You open up this entire wall so you can get more angles from piano on the site.
Secret, yeah?
Able to shoot the bandit battery and then make vertical on cafe.
One playing a spiral.
And then I got a call that one was spiral, so I decided to push down spiral late. And turns out both of them are there because they're avoiding the vertical. For the last 2 sites, I'm not going to go over them individually, but they're going to have the same philosophy. This map, you're going to want to use verticality in order to attack these sites on the first floor, whether it's in Expo and Piano or if it's in Tellers or Servers. Both of them are going to be easier to attack from above because you can use that vertical play to push people out of the site, especially in Expo and Piano. The entire floor above the site is soft, therefore you can push any defenders that are in the site out of the site, and you can attempt to get a plant in Piano or Exposition. Obviously, you can work the piano hatch as well with either hard breaches or soft breach if they forget to reinforce it. But essentially, using this vertical, you'll be able to get a plant down and then hold the doors into the site from above. Anytime you're doing a vertical take, you want to make sure that you're bringing either a sledge or a buck, and you should probably take a nomad as well because you want to be able to cut off the flanks. If you're going to be taking Expo side and Piano side, you want to take the western side of the building, and if you're taking Tellers and Servers side, you want to take the eastern side of the building. However, you could do a full admin clear if you want to. That would be more structured, and you'd be able to do the same consistent attack for either of these sites. Both sites also have the option to attack directly from the lobby. For Expo and Piano, you can go to the left of the lobby and you can open the lobby walls and you can try to get a plant in Exposition. For Tellers and Servers, you can try to open the 3 walls that are in Tellers and you can try to get a plant in Tellers. However, because these sites do have soft floors, you have to be aware of C4s from below. So you want to make sure that the defenders don't have a Pulse or a Valkyrie that are watching you ready to C4 you as soon as you attempt to plant. And as well, for Tellers and Servers, you can pull off a cafeteria and secret pinch as well. You can do a cross take from the big garage all the way through cafeteria and try to pinch Servers with the person that pushes secret. Ideally, you would get a plant down in Servers because then you don't have to worry about C4s from below. In theory, you could do a bottom floor attack as well for Expo and Piano because the entire floor is soft. You could put a buck in the garage and open up the floor above you, but it's not necessarily going to be the most consistent take. In essence, for both of these tertiary sites, the third sites, you'll want to try to take vertical first and then work your way down into the site itself and try to achieve a plant. All right, so this is going to be a top floor take on Expo, clearing from the admin side over.
I'm in coffin.
So teammates are droning. We've got a Jackal checking for footprints, and it's been called that it's all clear. We've worked our way all the way up to the bathroom and top yellow, and the top floor is clear.
We're in CEO.
So we start to open up the hatch, D4s, and then start to make vertical on Piano.
Oh.
He just rotated into Exposition.
Yeah, I'm holding spiral. Straight for Visa.
And I'm able to find a vert kill on the dock. Continue making vert and check the rest of Piano.
Don't find anyone. Last one might be in the... Now we have a 5v1. Checking the closet in case anyone's there. Nobody there. I think he's hearing sound in lounge. Shoot a Fenrir and then open up above him, and he was in lounge. Good job.
Watch this, bro. Watch this. Watch this. Look.
Oh. I would have been dead.
And as always, for my guide videos on maps, I do have callout sheets that you can use to learn callouts on Consulate. These blueprints are courtesy of one of SSG's analysts, Tisius. He was able to create these blueprints, and I was able to put the callouts over the top. So make sure you click the link in the description to get access to those callout sheets. Thank you guys for watching, and if this helped you, make sure you share it with a friend, you like, you comment, and you subscribe. This helps push it to more people. That way you can have fewer randoms in your team who are absolutely lost on Consulate. See you guys in the next video.